Second date update.
We do lots of second date updates where strange things happen to couples while they're out.
Yeah.
But this might be the strangest.
Really?
Because the date that was supposed to happen never did.
Ooh.
Okay.
Where did it go?
Wait, it's like a mystery?
Who did it go with?
Dates never happen all the
And
time.
what would you do for a Klondike bar?
I am so confused by all of this.
Yes, many, many questions that we may
No.
never get answers to.
That's not why I'm confused.
The mystery.
It's the Klondike bar and why you're so mysterious about this. Is that a word?
Well, maybe we'll just get some
Mystified.
answers by asking Ray, who's on the phone right now and actually has the information that we're looking for. Now, Ray, this sounds a lot like a certain mystery novel I couldn't put down the other night called Ball Gags, Lies, and Dead Guys. Have you heard of that one?
I have not, but I'm hoping we can get to the end of this novel quicker than that, I hope.
Yeah, well, highly recommended, okay? It's a page turner.
Do
I was
not-
definitely choking something back.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
At least we know this novel doesn't include dead guys, because Ray, you're alive and on the phone with us.
Yeah, 100%. I'm here.
Okay,
All right.
good.
I'm hoping that your story is as interesting as the one I was reading. So
I bet it's not.
tell us about the girl that you want us to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Kate.
Okay.
Okay, and how'd you meet Kate?
So we met online on an app, yada, yada, yada. Not so interesting. But we hit it off. It seemed great.
Okay.
We were having a great time. We were chatting back and forth, and we decided to, meet up.
Yeah.
Here's where the problem comes in. I'm on my way to her house. My phone dies. I start digging around, no phone charger.
Oh, it's the worst
I'm like,
feeling.
all right.
Gosh.
I kind of remember the address. I definitely know the street.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's like olden
pretty
How do
sure
you
you know.
navigate? Oh,
Yeah,
my
You
God.
had to pull over, ask for directions?
Well, as for directions, but I'm like, do you guys know Kate?
Yeah.
You could have gone to a gas station and bought a charger for your phone.
Oh, that's actually smart. I didn't ever even think
You're
of that.
right, but my biggest fear was to be late for my date.
Okay, so did you find her
Okay.
apartment?
Well, what I think is the address that Kate lives at is actually the address of this lovely elderly couple.
Aww.
So you had a date with two old people. Cool.
Well, I did. I spent a good bit of time with them.
So,
did?
wait, hold on. You walked up to a house thinking that it was Kate's place, but an elderly couple answered the door and you went in?
Well, an older woman answered the door, and I asked if Kate was there, and she's like, come on in. She didn't quite say Kate didn't live there.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I think they were a little lonely, but it was cool.
So with hanging out with your new old friends, did you find out that this wasn't Kate's house?
I found out right away, but the lady was so insistent on helping me find Kate
Oh, no.
that I couldn't leave.
Oh,
Did these
wow.
old people not have a cell phone charger for you either?
No, they had one of those rotary dial phones.
Oh, my God. A landline.
All right, so did they ever locate Kate for you?
They called around to the neighbors and finally figured it out.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Old people have time to do anything. You can walk in with a problem and they'll spend the entire week trying to solve it for you.
Well, and all of a
Oh.
sudden, you're like the hot topic of the neighborhood gossip.
I'm sure they're still talking about me today.
So wait, what happened? Did you meet Kate?
I went over there, and it was not good.
Oh,
No.
was she mad that you were late?
Yeah, I mean, she definitely was a little bit upset because I was over an hour late.
Yeah.
She didn't even want to hear that I was talking to her neighbor. These old people, she was over it.
Oh, no.
So she hasn't even heard your cute story about your cute old friends now?
When I started to explain to her what had happened, she told me to get off her property, and if I didn't get off, she was going to call the cops for trespassing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a good. That's
Real
a
mad.
positive response.
probably a good sign that she wanted to see you in handcuffs.
I don't think that's what we take from that.
Well, I mean, later, but after dinner, I guess.
Yeah.
So the date never happened, and so we know why, obviously. She's
Yeah.
not calling you back, and you're just hoping we can convince her to go out again?
I'm hoping you can try to explain to her that it wasn't intentional. I made some new old friends, I guess.
So how long did you stay outside of her house yelling at her until you finally decided to go home?
I don't know, 5 minutes. Not enough to cause a scene.
Okay, that's
All
good.
right.
It wasn't crazy.
But I did end up going back over to the old folks' home and hang out with them.
Really?
Okay, well,
Yeah, they were so nice.
What?
And I felt bad for them because they were if it doesn't work out, come back over here. So I did.
Oh my god.
What did they say about Kate? I mean, you told them the whole story. They're obviously vested in your love life at this point.
They felt terrible for me. They said that any girl would be lucky to have me.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, that is classic
grandma,
old
grandpa.
people.
They pinched his cheek.
Yeah.
All right,
Look
so
how adorable he is, Henry.
so you haven't been able to reach Kate at all.
Not at all.
How many times have you tried to get a hold of her?
Well, a few, but not too many. Like a couple texts and one phone call.
Okay, so not a crazy amount. That's a good sign. I think we can salvage this. I think she was just angry in the moment.
Yeah.
Now that she has time to calm down, she hears the story.
Easy.
We're getting you a second date.
I agree.
Or if not that, at least a partner at the bingo game. So there's going to be a positive that comes out of this. We're going to play a song, come back, and call Kate, try and get you a second date update, okay?
Oh my God, thank you guys. That'd be huge. I feel like I totally screwed this up.
All right. Yeah, we're going to try and fix it for you. Hold on.
Second date update.
If you're just tuning in for part 2 of the second date update, we're on the phone with Ray. Ray never actually met up with his date.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess he kind of did.
Yeah.
But his phone died. He was very late, so she ended up just yelling at him and threatening to call the cops. Not the most successful date we've ever heard, but not the least successful.
That is true. That's also a true statement. I honestly think it could be way worse.
Yeah.
I've
And
done way worse.
Yeah.
you know what? I believe that, Ray.
Yeah.
And you never got to explain that you were just down the road at some old couple's house smoking a J while playing Boulder Dash.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Whoa. We were watching Jeopardy start with a J.
Well, we're going to find out a little bit more. Are you ready to call Kate here?
I would love a second chance with this girl.
I think you've got, I mean, like I said maybe before, but I was even thinking about it more. I think there's no way this girl is not going to give you a second chance, right? She was super mad in the moment, not because of you, but because of all the bad dating experiences she's had. And I think she's not calling you back now because she's embarrassed. Like, how embarrassing to overreact like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she didn't even really know what she was overreacting to. She was just like, you're an hour late. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And I, 100% respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
See, it's good that you understand that. This is going to be fine.
All right. Well, we're going to call Kate right now and try and get your second date update, okay?
That would be so great. Thanks, guys.
All right. I'm dialing the phone number now. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I talk to Kate, please?
This is she.
Hi, Kate. My name's Young Jeffrey from the radio. Do you have a moment to chat?
What's this about?
This is about something that we do on our show called a second date update.
Okay. What does that mean?
Hurry, Jeff.
You're very
Sorry.
businesslike. That's a good point.
Fast. Okay. It's
Yeah.
where someone reaches out to us because they went on a date and then they're getting blown off. So we call that person, try and figure out why.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so explain it to me.
Oh my God, you're stressing me out
Yeah,
just
I
talking
know.
like this.
Oh, she's
It's just
busy.
someone likes you and you're not calling them back and they want a second chance. They want to explain themselves.
Okay.
And the person who reached out about you, his name is Ray.
Oh.
I know it's a little different because you and Ray never actually went out.
Well, I mean, he was over an hour late. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
You heard that.
Ray does.
Yeah, and you know what? I wasn't even going to go out with him after he showed up anyway.
Well,
Why?
I mean, he had a really good reason for being late. Did you hear him out at all?
No, I just saw him pull up in my driveway, so I didn't need to hear what he had to say.
Oh, well, you should have.
It may have changed your mind if you actually heard his excuse.
Well, whatever. He was driving American.
What?
He's an American.
Huh?
Like, that matters. The car was American.
His
American made?
Duh, I just said that.
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify.
I don't get it either. So you're not calling him back because of the car he was driving?
Yeah, you'd think that he would be driving like a Maserati or a Mercedes or like a Beamer, but he was in a Ford. And like, I'm not going to be caught dead in a Taurus.
what?
Wait, hold on. Why would you assume people are in a Beamer and a Maserati?
Yeah.
Because in his dating profile, it said that he makes over 6 figures. And like, you don't drive a Taurus when you're making over 6 figures.
That's actually not true. You do drive a Taurus if you're making over 6 figures and you're good with your money because cars are wastes of money.
Brooke's rich and she drives a Subaru.
That sounds really lame, actually. Like, if you have a ton of money, don't you want people to see it? You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to ask me what I make if I'm driving a Jaguar or whatever.
So, man,
Rich people, you do know someone's rich if they drive a Jaguar.
Well, it is kind of weird to put that in your dating profile, to brag about money and then not brag about it in other areas of your life. I could see
Absolutely.
that.
Kate, you know what? You're right. Ray should answer these questions. Ray, explain yourself.
I would love to explain myself.
Ray?
Yeah, we didn't tell you. Ray's actually been on the other line listening during this whole conversation.
Oh, come on.
That's how these work.
You didn't tell me that he was on the other line. I thought I was just talking to you guys.
Yeah.
You sound pretty passionate about your stance on American-made cars. I mean...
Well, absolutely. I mean, what is the point of having money if you're not going to spend any of it?
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, where's your Porsche, Ray?
Wait, hold on. Why am I going to spend my money on a car that just loses money the moment I buy it? Like, I'd rather spend my money on experiences and, like, enjoyment in life.
Girls don't want experiences and joy. They want material things, Ray.
I don't need a nice car, but the guy that I'm with does, so that, like, I can feel great in it, you know?
Are you for real? Like,
Yes.
that's
so
what
fun
financially
to be
secure
seen.
is to you?
Yeah, when you're with a man who has a nice car, like, everyone knows that you're safe and secure, and, like, that's the guy that's going to take care of you.
I don't know if you've seen, like, the Consumer Reports, like, on the Taurus, but it's pretty safe. You're going to live through any of this.
It's a good point, Ray.
I'm
And
not
I
talking
assure
about
you we're going to have a nice dinner wherever we go. Like, I don't know
Oh my
why.
God. But, like, why would you pull up to a valet in a Taurus? You know, like, the valet's
Well, I know the valet's not going to, like, take it for, like, a test drive like Ferris Bueller.
That's true.
Kate, wait a minute. You're basing, like, listen to yourself. You're basing your dating decisions off what the valet thinks of who you're out with. Like, that is such a stupid idea.
Hold on.
Well,
but to be
no, I think
fair-
that that's actually, like, it's how I feel. And that's what I like, and that's what makes me feel good.
Yeah, women empowerment there.
No, it's not women empowerment.
Yeah.
It's materialism.
Yeah,
If
you want to ride
nice
in a
car,
powerful
Kate,
car that goes from
stop
0 to
it.
100 in under 3.
Oh, my
I
God.
feel you, girl.
Yeah. I mean, you show up, and that's first impression, and it didn't seem fun.
Seriously, does it matter what kind of car I drive? I have money. I make tons of money.
Oh, God.
I just don't waste it on dumb cars.
Wow.
All right, then tell me one thing that you've actually spent money on. Like, it doesn't have to be a car, just something that's fun. Like, what have you bought that's expensive?
What?
I like this
For
question.
real? That's what you want to know? Like, what brings
Yeah,
me
I'm
pleasure that I
curious.
spent money on? Like,
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
Seriously, I want to know.
for your information, for my mom's birthday, I bought her a Louis Vuitton handbag.
Ooh, those
What?
are expensive.
That's pricey.
That's a couple
Well,
grand.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. And, like, do you buy gifts for people, like, lots of times?
What?
Okay.
What? No, stop. Kate, you are the most materialistic, superficial person I've ever heard.
I don't really need to hear from you. I'm asking Ray the question, okay?
Okay. All right, Ray, what's your answer?
Be quiet, bro.
Yeah, Brooke. Support women for once.
Yeah, I mean, I spend money on people that mean a lot to me.
Aw.
Okay. Well, maybe I was just a little harsh before, but you know what? If you apologize to me, then I can give you another chance.
Oh, what a coincidence.
Okay, this is going better.
Is it? Is it going better? This sounds terrible to me.
I mean, like, I was trying to tell you when I got there, I was sorry. I never even told you the story about, like, my cell phone. Like, these guys have all heard it.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but, like, can't you just save that story for our next date?
Uh-oh.
All right, I think that's my cue to
my
jump in
God.
here and ask Kate, would you like to go out on another date with Ray here? We'll pay for it.
I mean,
Actually, better yet, Ray will prove how much money he has by paying for it himself.
Oh, my God.
Hey guys, let me save my money for the third date.
All right, we're back to paying for it again.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, Kate, are you going out with him again?
I think so, because he seems really down to earth.
What?
That's your response?
You found out
Wait.
about a purse and he's
Wait.
down to earth.
Did you not hear about his Louis handbag for his mom? I mean, that is so sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brooke, shame on you.
Yeah, I'm... Ray, there is no way you want to go out with this woman.
I don't see the problem with going out with her.
That was the
Why are you
goal.
worried?
Kate's whole idea for her future plan is just to marry a rich dude. That's not a plan,
That
man.
sounds like a pretty solid plan to me,
What?
Kate.
It's not a plan, Kate.
Ray, just so you know, the next date, we're going to take my car.
Oh.
Oh, what do you drive?
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of curious now.
Well, it doesn't matter, Ray. It's better than anything that you have.
I've got money on a Jetta. Anybody else?
Look,
All right. Well, I think this is a success. Congratulations, you two.
Oh my God.
Thank
I'm so
you.
disappointed.
You're going to have beautiful, rich babies together.
Perfect.
See, guys, it's not about the type of car you drive.
No, it's just about how much money you have. That's what we learned.
that's where true love is.
Moving 92.5. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Normally, when we do second date updates, it's been like a couple weeks since somebody hasn't gotten a call back.
Right.
But we got an email from a dude who wants answers now. And his date happened last night.
Patience,
So
sir.
he emailed us and asked if we could do a second date update for him right away. His name is Adam, and he's on the phone right now. Adam, why couldn't you wait a couple days to do your second date update?
I really want to know what happened like really soon because I'm really afraid that I did something really wrong. So I just gotta have help.
Hold on. I feel like you need some chill is what you need in your life.
Well, honestly, I'm pretty sure once you hear this story, you'd want to know too.
Whoa.
All right, well, let's get into the story then. You went out with this girl literally last night.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you meet her?
So I was at a coffee shop and kind of did one of those like random, cheesy, hopefully romantic things that worked out, and it worked out really well.
What was it? I need to know your trick.
Yeah, so I was in front of her, and she was really cute, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try and buy this girl a coffee. And so I told the cashier, I was like, I'm going to buy this girl's coffee. And I turned to her and asked, I was like, is that okay? And she said, yeah, and smiled. And I thought that was a good sign, but I wanted to make sure that she knew it wasn't just one of those like nice pay it forward moments. So when they asked what name to put on the cup, I said, you can put my name on my cup, but I said to put my phone number on hers.
Ooh,
Oh.
sly.
And so I was like, hey, I hope you enjoy the coffee, but, no pressure. If you're interested, here's my number, and I hope to hear from you.
Dude, I'd call you back too. That is smooth.
And there's no like instant like obligation, right?
I'm pretty sure 98% of women would fall for that move.
Yeah, I think she's in that 98% because it worked. She gave me a text
Yeah.
How quick did she text you back after you bought that coffee for her?
that day, like not too far thereafter.
Nice.
Oh,
All right.
attaboy.
So what happened on your date? Why do you need to do a second date update right now? It hasn't even been 24 hours.
So we went to a place for happy hour. We wanted to keep it kind of, keep it casual. And it was a good start that she was like, well, you bought a drink for me. Let me buy a drink for you. I was like, oh, this is a great start. So
Dude, she's even good at the moves. Like, that is a good move on her part.
yeah, so we're talking and hanging out, like, past a drink, getting some appetizers. And so there's good conversation. And we start talking about just random stuff, talking about how, all these small plates and how I like the snack, and she's talking about throughout the day she loves the snack too. And I don't know where it came from, but we started talking about yogurt.
Ooh, you guys had
Wow.
the yogurt talk on a first date? Man.
Moving fast.
Yeah.
Is it
What's
like
next?
Greek or non-fat? What do you like?
I told this super lame story about how I didn't like it at first, and now I love it, and I can't go through a day without it. And we were talking about favorite flavors, and this is where it started and stopped. I was like, oh, I just really like plain Greek yogurt. And I kid you not, I finished the word yogurt, and she starts crying.
Cry?
What?
Out of the
Crying?
blue?
Literally, I'm telling you, and I've run through the story a million times. I finished the word yogurt, and she is crying. And so it was such a quick thing that I was like looking around. Did something happen I didn't know? And I said, I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? And she didn't really answer me. And I said, I made some joke about saying Greek yogurt, which said it again, which is evidently something I shouldn't have said again because she started crying even more.
What?
And
Wow.
She's like, it's too tangy for me. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
And so she started to get up and was like, I'm sorry, I have to go. And I'm like, really? And she turns to leave. And I honestly, I feel kind of bad now, but I get up to follow her. And I was like, I'm sorry. Is there anything that you need? Did I say something wrong? I'm stammering through everything that I can. And she literally told me, I'm sorry, I just have to go. And I, of course, let her go because I'm not going to follow her any more than that. And that was honestly the last time I've seen or heard from her.
Wow. Why do you think she started crying when the topic of yogurt was brought up?
I have no idea.
Okay, wait, I mean, did something else happen, though, that coincided with the yogurt topic? Like she got a text or...
And that's what I thought. The first time I looked around, like there had to be some other factor in this conversation or this moment that led to this, but I keep hearing the word yogurt over and over in my head.
Well, it was a cold, callous thing to say to her, that you like Greek yogurt. I mean, I'm sticking up for her on that, but I really have no idea why she would have started crying then.
Yeah, and hopefully it makes you understand why I was like, I need help with this almost immediately.
Okay.
Well, have you tried to get a hold of her? I mean, did you hit her up after and be like, is everything okay?
Yeah, I sent her a text and it was basically kind of like non-committal and supportive, saying, I hope everything's okay. Let me know if you need anything. But
Yeah.
I don't know if even that was the wrong thing to do.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and find out why the topic of Greek yogurt made her cry so hard that she walked out on your date. In your second date update right after this, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Why in the world would Greek yogurt make somebody cry? We're hopefully going to find that out if you're just joining us for today's second date update. Adam is on the phone, and he met a girl that he really liked at a coffee shop. They met up for drinks, and during their date, he said everything was going fine, and then they got into a conversation about yogurt for some reason. He brought up the fact that he likes plain Greek yogurt, and then she cried, got up from the table, walked out to her car, and left, and hasn't talked to him since. Now, it hasn't been a long time. It was just last night. But he's so confused that he wants to do a second date update right now. Adam, I never got her name from you. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Kristen.
Kristen. Okay.
And there wasn't like you were having a conversation and you weren't listening to what she was saying, and she was actually talking about her dog dying, and you just happened to be talking about yogurt or something, right?
She asked me what my favorite flavor was, and that was when I said plain Greek yogurt, and that was it.
Okay. Wow. So you know that it was in line with the conversation.
Yeah, no, I am positive. I'm a good listener. It was a good conversation, and I am 100% positive that I was paying attention. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we'll dial her phone number right now, see if she answers, and see if we can find out why, okay?
Cool.
All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Kristen?
Yes.
Thank God you're okay. How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
What? Who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. It's a radio show.
Yeah. Why are you calling me?
I'm calling you because we got an email from a friend of yours who is very concerned. Well, I don't know how much of a friend he is, actually.
Yeah.
His name is Adam, and you apparently went out with him last night.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah. We do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. That's where if you go out with somebody and then end up not calling them after, they email us to see if we can get you on the phone and find out why. Normally, people wait like a couple weeks or a month to email us, but he emailed us and wanted us to get a hold of you because apparently you walked out of your date crying last night, and he has no idea why.
I told him that he should wait a little bit longer because you're probably embarrassed.
No, I'm not really embarrassed. I mean, you really want to get into it?
You're not embarrassed to break down in tears when talking about Greek yogurt? And then...
Oh, he told you what we were talking about?
Yeah. He said that he thought everything was going well until the topic of yogurt came along, and he brought up the fact that he enjoys plain Greek yogurt, and that's when you started to cry and then left.
I mean, it's just something I do.
Wait, what do you mean?
Something
It's
you
like
do.
every time you go to the grocery store and you walk by the aisle, you're just in tears?
No, it has really nothing to do with Greek yogurt. It's just this thing I do, like, if I'm just not feeling it. I mean, I wasn't really feeling the date. I was kind of over it. And I just decided, like, I'm just going to start crying, and he'll freak out, and he won't want to touch it after that. And so I just left.
Oh.
What? You're using crying as an out on a date?
You can just do that?
It works because so many guys just don't know what to do and they don't want to deal with it. They think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a really good idea. If you were to just start crying on a date and be like, I have to go, I'd be like, I'm not going to argue with that. Get out of here. Go do whatever it is that you have to do.
Yeah, guys don't want to deal with it. They think that there's something wrong with you. You're fragile, you're crazy, and they just don't want to deal with it.
Oh my
You're
God,
like
she's
you're like an evil genius.
It works.
But why didn't you like your date so much? I mean, he sounded like a really nice guy.
Nice? I mean, not really. He wasn't really that nice. I actually thought he was kind of a pig.
Whoa,
Oh,
really?
okay.
Like, what kind of a pig?
No,
Well, there's different levels of pig. I mean,
What are you saying? Like potbelly? Is that what you want to
well,
know?
I mean, did you feel like he was just disheveled and dirty? Did you feel like he was like, unkempt? Did you feel like there was another part of him that was like a male chauvinist pig? There's all kinds of pigs.
You do bring up. No, he brings up a good point.
Definitely chauvinist.
Chauvinist. Okay.
Sexist.
He's sexist. What did he do that was sexist?
We were talking about things in school, and I was talking about how, like, I went to school for like math, and he said, "Oh wow, most girls aren't good at math. That's really cool."
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Like, stupid.
Yeah, that is
Most
dumb.
girls aren't good at math. That is pretty stupid because every girl that I cheated off of in high school to get to pre-algebra was really good at math.
To get to pre-algebra.
Yeah.
Those
And
sixth
and
graders
as a-
I was cheating off of
they
when
were-
I was a junior.
They were 8th graders and I was a senior.
Okay.
And most
sorry.
of them were female and they were really good at math. And me being a man, I was terrible at it. So I would never say that.
Did you tell him that you were offended by him saying that?
I let that one go for a second. I was like, okay, let me give him the benefit of the doubt. And then we started talking about cars, and like I was saying how I had to get a repair on my car, and I was talking to the mechanic, and he was like thinking that I couldn't handle myself at a mechanic shop, and why didn't you do it? And do you want me to help you? Girls are always victims at these things, and I'm like, cool, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh my
I don't
God.
blame you for pulling the crying card at this point.
Yes, like after all that, then we were talking about careers and work, and then he said, you're so pretty, you don't need to work.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at that point I was like, he already thinks I'm some fragile little girl, so let me just let the tears flow.
Yeah. I know. In his mind, he's like, there it is. I knew she was a woman deep down. Good at math, good at cars, whatever. I knew the tears were going to come. That's all right, sweetheart. Kristen, thank you for telling us a little bit about why you weren't calling Adam back and why you fake cried in the middle of the date.
Yeah.
I do have to tell you, though, that Adam is actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, how can you fake crying to get out of something you don't want to deal with?
I mean, if you're going to be clueless about the things that you say, like, it's just going to get all ugly and awkward. Because I was getting irritated, and I don't want to let my bad side come out and start putting you in your place.
Oh.
Listen, I mean, I'm just trying to give you compliments, and the response is to, like, lie about it and make me worried about you?
Compliments? You think that's a compliment? You were saying that I'm smart for a girl. Like,
Oh my God.
that is not cool. What am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I was telling you how smart you were.
For a girl, like, do you not see how you're coming across? It's so chauvinist and sexist. No girls like that.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, like, I really do think you're smart for a girl.
Oh my God, Adam.
The point
Do you not
is...
realize in saying that you're
Yeah.
saying that all men are smarter than women?
What? No, there's guy smart and girl smart. There's two different kinds of people.
Oh my, are you like, you're ignorant.
So wait, I'm confused. Like, you're gonna say that guys and girls just aren't like naturally wired differently? Guys kind of have, they're predisposed to math, and if a girl's smart at it, then great. I mean, I don't know how that's a bad thing.
No, the only reason men excel at math and science is because they're actually pushed into those fields and encouraged to do those things, where we live in an antiquated society where for years females have been told that they can't do that stuff.
I guess that's kind of my point. So that's exactly right. Like, I'm a guy, so I have to be good at math and science. But if I'm as pretty as Kristen, I can be a pretty girl, and things can come to you. It's just kind of it's like lucky that she's that way. I wish I didn't have to do the things I have to do.
Adam, do you even hear the nonsense coming out of your mouth? You sound like a total moron.
You sound more than a moron. You sound someone who is legitimately living back in 1950.
Dude, I feel like I need help. I have two women attacking me and all these guys just listening. Like, guys, I thought you'd be there to help. I mean, seriously?
No, you're on your own on this one, yeah. You hung yourself out to dry a long time ago. You can deal with that. I'm good. I can watch.
The other guys guys in the room actually believe in, I don't know, equality. It's a weird concept that some people buy into.
Listen, I believe in equality too, but between men and women, things are just different. Some things girls just have easier because they're pretty.
But not all pretty women just get money thrown at them. It doesn't work that way.
Well, some do.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest, there are some that do. There are some pretty dudes that get money thrown at them, too. I don't know how they do it. I am jealous of all of pretty people for getting money thrown at them.
That's rare.
But Adam,
Adam.
you can see why she didn't really like your date, can't you?
I don't know. I guess we're just not a good match because I don't think I did anything wrong.
And that's the problem. That right there is exactly the problem.
Oh my God, Adam, I feel so sorry for you.
Well, that sounds like you might be interested in going out with him again, Kristen. I'm not as smart as a girl,
No, you're
but
not.
I am picking up on a vibe. Would you like to go out with Adam one more time on a second date? We will pay for it.
Definitely not.
But we'll pay for it. I have the money
Thank
that
God.
you might not have,
Yeah,
Kristen.
because us little women, how could we ever make ends meet?
Can't say no to
Oh
that.
no, I don't want to get money thrown at me because I'm pretty.
Well, I'll throw it your way if you want to go out with Adam again.
No, thank you.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Adam. I tried to get you a second date there.
It doesn't sound like it.
What are you talking about? I tried to appeal to her womanly sensibilities of wanting to get money for free, and it didn't work.
Whatever. I'm done with this.
All right. Well,
Too bad.
regardless, thank you for emailing us to do a second date update, okay?
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to turn to you guys for help again.
He's stubborn like a typical man.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
The song's not bad for a chick.
Oh my God.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Don't make me hit you
Talking
too.
about today's second date update. If you missed it, this dude Adam wanted to call a girl named Kristen who wasn't calling him back after their date. She actually broke into tears on the date and left.
Yeah.
We got her on the phone and found out that's her go-to move when she doesn't like a date. She cries and then leaves because most of the time guys don't want to call a girl back if she does that.
Genius.
The reason that she didn't like the date was because Adam is a sexist.
And
Big
doesn't
time.
know it.
And he doesn't know it.
Yeah,
He
I like,
thinks he's giving her compliments. He's like, you're really smart for a girl.
and I like how he said, I believe in equality, just not for men and women.
Yeah.
What?
I believe in equality for other things, but when it comes to men and women, we're too different, and ladies can simply not handle themselves out in the regular world, and they need a man to guide them.
Oh my God.
don't get
Thank
it.
goodness for
So,
him.
Yeah.
They decided to not go out again.
Yeah.
Well, she decided to not go out with him again.
Yeah.
Which is weird, a woman standing up and making a decision.
Oh, man.
Progress is true, people.
Yeah, get back in the kitchen, lady.
Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Today's second date update is crazy. This guy, Jake, is on the phone, and he actually met the girl that he wants us to call at a wedding. That's
Okay.
not that crazy. That happens a lot. But she was the bride.
Okay, we don't even want to be involved in this. I'm going to put my foot down right now.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
She
thank
wasn't at all.
God.
But he did meet her at a wedding.
Oh my God, Jubal.
What's up, Jake? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Oh.
So your email said that you met the girl that you want to call today at a wedding. I made up the bride part. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, I mean, she's really hot.
The first thing that attracts anyone.
Right. I did notice that she was packing heat in her booty.
There you go. That's nice. So you were at this wedding and you were like, damn, that is...
No, I know. I definitely was. I was eyeing the buffet before, but then I saw that and I'm like,
You're like, wait a second. There's a much bigger honey glazed ham over there I would like to sample. So how did you approach her at the wedding? Did you already know her? Is she a friend, or did you just meet her there?
She knew the groom, and I was friends with the bride.
Okay, so you didn't know her prior to the wedding. You met her at the wedding.
No, I
That's
did
what
not. We met at the wedding, yeah.
Okay.
And were you watching her the whole time to make sure she wasn't there with the date, or were you just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best?
I was just hoping. In retrospect, I probably should have checked.
Yeah. Most people go to weddings with dates, so.
Right. No, I didn't check. I just figured, what the hell? How often am I going to be able to see someone like that? I might as well approach her while I can.
So how did you approach her?
Well, this is really stupid thinking about in retrospect.
I went over to her and I pretended to drop my wallet, and then I picked it up in front of her, and then I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get in your way, and then I was like, hey, I didn't recognize you. Are you,
Oh my God.
do you know the bride of the groom? And she's like, oh, well, actually, I'm friends with the groom. And I was like, oh, well, I'm,
So that actually worked? You dropped your wallet in front of her like, oops, sorry about that.
Well, in my mind, it worked better than it actually did, but I think that it worked somewhat.
Did she see? I mean, did she see through it? She knew obviously that you were trying to pick up on her, right?
I'm pretty sure she did. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that she was aware.
It makes it easier also to ask for the number like, hey, obviously I'm hitting on you. Can we go out? So you guys did go out, though. Tell us about your date.
Originally, we were going to go out to dinner, but I worked really late that night. And so, I called her like 4 or 5 hours before our date, and I was like, hey, I have this big project I have to be able to finish, so can we just do the date at my place? I can cook you dinner, and, maybe we can watch something.
Was that really your excuse, or was this just a plan to get her back to your place?
No, that is. I swear.
From now on, you're going to use it as an excuse.
Yeah, I guess that I should.
And so she came over to your house, and then what'd you guys do?
I made her dinner, and then we watched a movie, and we had a few drinks, made out a little bit.
Nice.
Is that it? Just make out, or did you guys do more?
Yeah, no, that was kind of it.
Oh, you're letting me down. I thought I was like, man, this started off as a dinner date at a restaurant, and now he's like, just said, I have to work late. Now she's back at the house. They're drinking, watching TV. This is going to end great. So you made out for a little while, and how did everything end with her?
I thought at least it went well, and the next day I went to text her just to check up to see how things were, and she never really responded.
So have you heard anything from her at all?
No, nothing.
Was the conversation easy when you guys were together, or was it like some awkward stuff?
Well, yeah, looking back on it, I think that I probably told one too many stories about being drunk with my buddies.
I'm going to go with
I've
yes.
been in that position before because I have a lot of drunk stories. It's pretty much the only stories I have. And so if I'm out on a date, I realize like, oh man, like every single story that I've said has been about me being hammered.
And they're impressive to your bros. They're not impressive to the lady.
No, not.
You know?
See, I had the same problem that Jubal had because I was like, yeah, this is a really great story. I got I'm drunk in that story. I'm drunk in that story too.
All right. So you think maybe that she just thinks you're like a party dude or something?
That's what I'm afraid of. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I wanted to call you guys because, I can legitimately have a normal date where we go to dinner and I don't talk about how I got drunk with my buddies all the time.
All right. I feel like, and the ladies can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like if you do that, if you talk about being drunk all the time, maybe a girl will look at you like, oh, you're not the type of dude.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm afraid, because it was a first meeting that she may just have the wrong idea. And I would love the chance to make it up.
Explain it to her that you're not always drunk. All right. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, Jake is on the phone, and today he wants to call a girl named Eliza. They met at a wedding, ended up having a date back at his house. He made her dinner. They watched some TV, made out a little bit, but then she left, and he hasn't heard a thing from her. The only thing that he thinks went wrong on the date is maybe he told one too many drunk stories, and maybe it turned her off. Because girls love it when you're on a first date, and you're just like, yeah, me and my buddy Chet, we're just like crushing beers. Oh, I got another story for you. It's about when me and my buddy Chet were crushing beers. Like, so he feels like he kind of did that number, and now she's like, I don't know if I want to date this dude. He seems just like a kind of a douchebag. Would that be an appropriate breakdown of your date, Jake?
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm about to dial the phone number. Any last thoughts before we get her on the phone?
I really do think that I can make it better. I really do think I can.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to dial the phone number, see if we can get her on the phone. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Eliza, please?
this is she.
Hi, Eliza. How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Do you have the wrong number?
I don't think so. Is your number 63865?
Yeah, that's my phone number.
Okay, then you're the Eliza that I want to talk to. How you doing today?
Okay, I'm fine, I guess.
Well, I'm calling you because a listener of ours recently sent us an email asking us to get a hold of you.
Okay. Why?
Because you guys recently went out on a date and now you're not calling him back.
Okay.
His name is Jake. You met him at a wedding and then ended up having dinner at his house.
How do you guys know that? He sent you an email?
Yeah, he did. He told us a little bit about your date and also said that you're not calling him back. What did you think of Jake?
He seemed nice enough.
Nice enough.
Yeah, from meeting him, he seems like a good guy.
Okay, so everything you're saying sounds like you don't think that about him anymore, though.
Well, I mean, I'm not calling him back, so.
Okay.
Good point.
Yeah, very good point. Do you mind telling us why you don't want to see him again? He's curious.
Well, he kind of canceled our dinner date and invited me to go back to his place, which, I was a little skeptical about if he was just trying to get me, to go back to his place and have dinner there and whatever, but.
He told us about that, and I thought the same thing, because I even asked him when we talked to him, and I was like, that was a great excuse to get you back to his house, but he was 100% legit. He was working late.
Yeah, it sounds like a lie.
But did you enjoy dinner and everything with him when you went over to his house?
I did, and we had a good time at first, and then after a few drinks, we just kind of started talking, and he started just telling me stories about, like, all of his late nights with his buddies and how they get wasted every weekend and, like, all these crazy stories, and I don't know, I was just kind of a little taken back by that.
Okay, was it just too many drunk stories?
Well, yeah, and I mean, he started saying that his nickname was the Moose.
The Moose?
And,
Why is his nickname the Moose? Did he explain that? Or
well, he told me that his buddies call him that once they all start, and once especially he starts drinking.
What does
Why?
he do?
Did he give you an explanation?
He gave me a demonstration.
What?
A demonstration?
I've got to hear this.
A demonstration of why they call him the Moose.
Oh, no.
Does it involve showing you a body part? Because that's where my mind instantly went.
No. No. He actually just grabbed the bottle of wine from the table and started chugging wine straight from the bottle.
Really? So was he just getting
Yeah.
hammered on your date then?
I don't know exactly. He was drinking a lot.
Okay.
Did he
well, that's
want
what
you
the
to
Moose
like?
does.
Did he want you to like start chanting "moose, moose, moose" during it?
He did not ask me to do that, but I have a feeling that that's probably what usually happens.
Yeah, like if you would have started, he would have been like, "Yeah, this chick's down. She knows how Moose parties."
Oh my gosh.
What did you say when your date started chugging wine in front of you?
I mean, what do you say? I was just like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Are you going to be super impressed by that? Like, my patent move is chugging a whole bottle of wine in front of a girl. Trust me, works every time.
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
So, and then at one point, we were kind of watching TV, and he was still drinking, and he was like, well, maybe if we keep drinking, the little moose can come out and play.
No, he did not.
He actually referred to it as the little moose.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Hey, Eliza, when we talked to him, because we talked to everybody about their date, he left out the moose part. Have you been wanting to talk to the moose since?
I think I'm okay.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, Eliza, the moose is actually on the other line and just heard what you said. Moose, you there?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, no.
You left out a very important part of your story there, Jake.
No, we talked about all kinds of party stories. I didn't leave anything out.
Yeah, but you didn't tell us that you refer to yourself as Moose and then asked her to touch the little moose.
Well, to be fair, I don't remember that.
So that's a good sign.
There you go.
You don't remember that? Are you serious?
No, listen, I feel really bad. I felt like I already ruined the date because I had to move it to my place, and I I wanted to impress you, so I wanted to sound adventurous. And I'm like, well, what adventure stories have I done? And they all ended up involving me drinking.
Well, there's a difference between being adventurous and acting like a frat boy.
Beer bonging wine in front of your date.
I'm sorry. I'm a fun guy when I party, and I wanted you to experience the moose. Ride the antlers. That's what I do sometimes.
Jake, getting drunk on a first date and calling yourself the moose is just it's not cool. And I'm looking for somebody who's more mature than that.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? And I made a mistake, and I feel bad. Once again, I was nervous. I wasn't making the best decisions. I was nervous because I liked you.
And Eliza, you couldn't have hated it that much. I mean, you did make out with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of regret that, but...
You regret that? You regret making out with me?
Uh-oh. The moose is loose, it sounds like. Jake is upset.
That's really insulting.
Well, Jake, from what you told us, you didn't really exactly sell yourself very well. Maybe. When did you guys make out? Did you guys make out before he started calling himself the moose or after, Eliza?
It was before.
It was before, okay. Oh. So she was down with making out with you until you started calling yourself the moose, and then she regrets it. I don't necessarily think it's that rude, Jake.
It's just, I can't believe she said that, though.
Jake, how about this? You got like 10, 15 seconds. Sell yourself to Eliza right now and make her think that you're not just a drunken D-bag.
Eliza, I apologize. I really do like you, and I was nervous. And I promise if I see you again that you'll really get to know the real me.
Eliza, would you like to go out on a second date with Jake? I will pay for it.
You know, the moose, I just don't think that's going to happen.
Oh,
but
come on.
I feel like hopefully you learned something, and maybe you won't do this to the next girl you try to have a first date with.
One more date with the moose, and he'll prove to you. Maybe the moose won't even be there. It'll just be Jake.
Nah, I think I'm good.
Really?
All right.
That's too bad,
Well, thank you for your
Eliza.
time, Eliza. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, Jake, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
No second date for you.
I unfortunately understand.
Yeah, maybe if you would have been the moose the whole time, you would have been able to seal the deal. I think that's the problem. Jake is boring.
And you know what? This moose is going to find a female me.
We need more moose in our lives.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 just says, bruh, you made the moose angry.
Yeah,
You did. Don't insult the moose.
No, dude.
You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the second date update that was obviously taped while Brooke was still here. She's out on maternity leave, and Jackie is filling in. But Jake wanted to call a girl named Eliza. They hung out, watched Netflix, stuff like that, drank a little bit. That's kind of what he said.
Yeah.
Drank a little bit. He drank a lot. Turns out Jake is kind of a frat boy.
Yeah, he's a bro.
Yeah, he's a super bro. And he calls himself the moose.
Right there just speaks volumes.
If any dude calls himself the anything, you're a bro.
Pretty much know they're a D-bag right away.
Yep.
So he got hammered while they were hanging out and kept calling himself the moose and talking about all the crazy things that the moose does when he drinks.
I picture posters hanging in his apartment, too.
Yeah.
With, like Bud Light girls.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Even made an offer for the little moose to come out and play. So Eliza was not down with that. She thought that he was kind of douchey and didn't want to go out with him again.
Yeah. And I like how guys like him, they don't get it. Even after he's like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
No one's turned down the moose.
Yeah.
Did you not hear how I describe myself? I describe myself as a very powerful animal. And also not one that you would normally think of as being a powerful animal, a moose, which also are kind of funny animals. Therefore, I'm powerful and I have a good sense of humor. I have everything that a chick wants. That's pretty much what Moose thinks of himself.
Yeah.
But he's single. That's
Surprisingly.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. But he says there is a female moose out there who will want to date the moose.
Oh, I'm sure. He'll find his equivalent.
He will. And you'll see them at the bar when it's closing down, fighting in a parking lot somewhere.
Absolutely.
Both of them crying and angry.
Yes.
He's like, you just lost out. This moose relationship is over.
Yep.
Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the moose who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Guys will do all kinds of things to try to score with women, including taking their man card, ripping it up, stomping, burning it, and then throwing it in the trash. Like what Tucker did to meet a girl. He went to a pottery class in order to meet girls. No. Tucker, how are you?
I am guilty as charged.
Yeah, hey, it looks like it worked, though, so I can't really hate on you too much. So that's where you said you met the girl that you want us to call today. What is her name, by the way?
Her name is Sophie.
Sophie, all right. So you signed up for this pottery class specifically to meet girls, or you are actually interested in making pots?
No, my buddy told me about this, and he, we were going to sign up together, and he actually didn't end up doing it.
So
it's just you by yourself in the pottery class. Did you feel like a creeper being by yourself in the pottery class?
Yeah.
Trying to get girls?
Absolutely, I did.
All right. But it worked out for you. Tell us about how you talked to Sophie.
So Sophie was right next to me.
Okay.
She's on her wheel. I'm on my wheel. And I didn't want to talk at first because, again, I feel creepy in this. My buddy Jamie's supposed to be there. We were going to, kind of wingman this.
Right.
But it didn't work out like that. And I think she could tell that I was kind of out of place in there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you position yourself next to her on purpose?
No, it just happened out that she was a beautiful woman. I mean,
Okay.
It just happened that she was hot and sat right next to me.
Luck of the draw.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there, and she looks over, and the first thing she says, "Are you making a mug?" And I was like, all right, that's a good opening. Let's go.
Now, were you making a mug? Was she like being flirty, ripping on your pottery skills?
I didn't know what the hell I was making.
Okay. So, what'd you tell her you were doing?
I was like, yeah, of course I'm making a mug.
Yeah.
What are you making over there? You got a bowl going? And she looks at me and she's like, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude.
So this made me feel really comfortable. I'm like, oh my God, she's kind of in my head right now.
Tucker, I stand corrected, all right? I ripped on you at the beginning of this saying that was not a manly thing to do, go take a pottery class. But after hearing that sexy exchange between you two, What is that, a mug? What you making, a bowl? Oh my God, Tucker.
Foreplay.
That is some hot pottery action that you had going on.
Shockingly, I'm single, huh?
Yeah, how'd you guys end up going out? Did you ask her out at that class, or did you wait a while? Had you been in the class for a couple weeks together?
It was actually after that class, I told her, I said, hey, I know this great bar around the corner. It's got pretty good drinks. They're kind of cheap, but at the same time, it's got some great jazz. Do you want to go?
Oh, so you were going to go that night, just carry that momentum of your great conversation straight into...
Mine as well.
Yeah. How did it go?
I thought it was great. I thought we had a really good conversation. It picked up. We were talking old high school stories and awkward high school stories and stuff like that. It was funny because she told me about the time that she chipped her tooth. And the same exact thing had happened to my sister, so we were kind of commiserating about that because, I mean, being in high school and your tooth is chipped, I mean, that's something they can't fix right away. It takes
Sounds like
a while.
A crazy story. So you guys had good conversation and drank a little bit. Did anything especially interesting happen, or was it a pretty average date for you?
I thought it was a very good first date for me. She was really, really funny, which I don't find that a lot in women. No offense.
Chicks, not funny at all.
No. I just that get my sense of humor.
I'm just messing.
So at the end of the night, I was walking to her car back over where the class was, and I went in for the hug. I didn't want to go in for the kiss. Like, I felt there was chemistry, but I didn't want to rush it. I felt like that would be a little bit too forward.
So what did she do after the hug?
After the hug, she's like, all right. I'm like, let's get another drink, sometime soon, maybe next week after class. And she was like, sure. But it's been a couple weeks, and she has not shown up for class.
All right. Wow. She's definitely probably blowing you off then if she's not showing up to the pottery class. So you've just been going to pottery class for fun now, if you think about it, for the past couple times.
I got to finish that mug.
How many times have you tried to get a hold of her?
I've texted her a bunch of times. She didn't have my number, so I was like making sure she knew. I'm like, hey, it's Tuck. How are things going? Hey, how's your bowl? I mean,
yeah,
and you got nothing back at all.
Nothing back, no response whatsoever.
And she stopped going to the class,
which is a big investment. I mean, those are expensive classes.
And do you know how important do-it-yourself stuff is to ladies?
That's
we
true.
like our crafts.
You probably ruined her whole Pinterest account, you jerk. All right, Tucker. We're going to play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on a minute.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Hey, Tucker.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in your second date update today, I want you to promise me one thing.
Okay.
you continue to go to that pottery class where you met this girl, and you finish what you were working on, and you send it to me here at the station. I want to put it next to my microphone every day so I can remember Tucker and his pottery class.
I will make you a set of bowls.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Nice.
If you're just tuning in for the second date update, Tucker is on the phone. He wants us to call a girl named Sophie. He met her in a pottery class. He went there specifically for the purpose of meeting girls, and it worked out. They went on a date. Nothing really crazy happened. Had some good conversation. Watched some jazz. Didn't get a kiss or anything at the end of the night, just a hug. But now she's not calling him back. And not only that, she hasn't shown up at his pottery class. So Tucker's pretty sure that something weird happened. But you have no idea what that could be.
No, at this point, I just want to know what I did.
And there's no way that she could like figure out that your plan was to troll for chicks the entire time.
I mean, it might have been a little transparent, but I still think we had a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if she enjoyed your company, you enjoyed her company, you would think she would call you back.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get her on the phone and get your second date update. Ready?
Yep.
Here
Okay,
we go.
do it.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, is Sophie there?
This is her.
Hey, Sophie. How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Oh, hi.
Hi. What's going on?
Why am I getting a call?
Why not, Sophie?
She sounds
Why can't I
excited.
just call people sometimes? It's,
How did you get my number?
Oh, well, I'm not going to tell you that just yet.
Oh, that's creepy.
You recently went on a date with one of our listeners. His name is Tucker. He liked you a lot, and now you're not calling him back. Not only that, but he told us that he met you at the pottery class that you attend, and you haven't been at the pottery classes. So Tucker's thinking that he did something really, really bad on your date. So he emailed us to ask you if he did something wrong. Did Tucker screw up?
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is so weird. I can't believe he called and said this to you.
Yeah, we talked to him about your date. He told us that everything seemed fine to him. You went to that bar, watched some jazz, had some fun, ended the night with a hug, and everything seemed cool, and now he can't get a hold of you. Is there a particular reason why?
Well, I mean, there was something that came up in a conversation that made me kind of, want to avoid him.
Can you tell us what that is?
I mean, this is a really awkward, kind of personal thing. I don't know if I should talk about it.
Personal about you or personal about Tucker?
Him.
Okay, the reason I ask is, Sophie, if it's about you, I understand you not wanting to say it. But if it's about Tucker, he's the one that wants to hear it. He went as far as to email us to call you. So he's prepared to hear whatever you have to say. So what did he do that's so inappropriate?
Well, he just kind of, I guess he got a little comfortable in the conversation that we were having, and he just kind of said something very personal about himself that you shouldn't really say when you don't know a girl.
Like what?
What did he say?
Like something you say after too many drinks?
I mean, we didn't drink a lot. I was fine. I mean, I don't know if he just can't hold his liquor, but we only had a couple drinks.
What did he say
make
to
you
you?
embarrassed, or does it make you more fearful of him?
Embarrassed for him. And okay, so we were talking about high school.
Yeah.
I guess because we were in a class, it made us think of high school. We're talking about high school stories and embarrassing moments, and it was fun. We were laughing, and then I was telling him about my sex ed class and how my teacher was drawing this giant penis, and we were all giggling, and we're high school, and then the teacher talks about climaxing, and that was so awkward.
Okay. So far, it sounds like your end of the conversation was kind of.
You're making me
And
even feel a little embarrassed. I don't know.
Yeah, now I'm very interested to hear what Tucker said.
Well, you're making me talk about this on the air. This was between him and me, but it's kind of funny for me to say. But you must know, he was, when we were talking about the climax thing, he was like, oh, yeah, about that. Sometimes I just can't. And I was like, what? I was joking on my drink almost.
Wait a second. So he just volunteered the information that sometimes he can't do that.
I wasn't sure what he meant. I almost choked. I'm like, what? You can't what? He's like, yeah, the climax thing. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He kept going. He's like, yeah, I can't because sometimes the Prozac I'm taking, affects it. And then
Sophie, that sucks. So what did you say after that? I mean, was it obvious that you were awkward about that? I mean...
the first time I tried to laugh it off, and I thought, okay, maybe he just accidentally said it and tried to make him feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But when he kept going with it, I just stared at him, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Sophie, as somebody who's been on antidepressants his whole life, I can tell you that is a side effect, and that's why I don't take them anymore. One of the main reasons that you take them to get over depression, and then you can't do that anymore, and then you get depressed because you can't do that.
It's a cyclical thing,
I've never known anyone that's taken it. I've never taken it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it is a true thing, but that's still very weird that he would share that with you just kind of out of the blue on a first date.
It just made me think, like, okay, first of all, you're sharing a lot with me, very, very personal, and it's almost like, are you trying to warn me? Like, you think we're going to go home tonight? I don't know what you're thinking.
Just be prepared to be disappointed, Sophie. Just be prepared.
And then the whole Prozac thing, why are you taking it? It scares me. Like, are you crazy?
Come on. There's lots of people that take Prozac
It's really
and
common.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and I've taken a lot of stuff.
I've taken antidepressants.
But I'm kind of crazy. So
God.
it doesn't really... So do you want to talk to Tucker again, ever?
Not particularly.
No? Okay, well, then I guess I shouldn't tell you he's on the phone and wants to talk to you.
Whoops.
Oh, no. Did he just hear everything I said?
Yes, he did.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, Tucker.
Hey, Sophie, how you doing?
I'm good. Well, not really, but how are you?
Tucker, did you know that you said what you said?
Yeah, I find that it's better to get that out of the way beforehand than during the actual moment.
I will agree with you on that, Tucker, but you probably don't want to do it in the first conversation you're having on a first date with somebody.
Tucker, I mean, if we had a few dates and we're really connecting, getting to know each other, maybe, but it was just so much, like, right off the bat, I just didn't know what to do.
I completely understand your concerns, and I do apologize. I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable at all. I just have had to deal with that a lot with women over the years, especially.
Tucker.
Do you always tell them right away?
No, but I thought, like, I really, honest to God, I thought we were having a good conversation, and, I just overstepped a little bit. I believe me, I did not think we were going home that night. Believe me.
But he wanted to warn you, if you do.
Well, and Sophie, he didn't bring it up out of the blue. It was already a topic of conversation on the table.
Yeah,
It's an honest mistake.
He was finishing your sex education class is what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was adding to it, making sure you got all the notes.
He was enlightening you to the dangers of antidepressants on your sex life.
Well, maybe I need to get educated.
So it's just too awkward for you to go back to the pottery classes?
I'm cool with the pottery classes. I made my little pot and I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on to painting.
You just, every time you're in there and Tucker's trying to mold a thing of clay, you're going to be thinking about how it's just limp. I can understand that, Sophie.
Come on.
Sophie, would you go out on a second date with Tucker?
Come on.
It's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
He maybe shouldn't have shared that. Will you go out with him again? We will pay for it.
I guess it would probably be nice of me to give him a chance to redeem himself.
He didn't do anything terrible. He just overshared a bit.
Yeah, and it was just a little shock to me, so.
Okay, so you'll go out with him again.
Sure.
Yes.
Fantastic. That is awesome. Thank you, Sophie. I really appreciate it.
You made Tucker's
I
day.
apologize. I will not expose anything else to you that you do not want to.
Oh, okay.
Tucker, just
That is a date. Yeah.
on your second date, just don't talk. How about that? But congratulations, you guys.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
If you're just tuning in for the second date, we're on the phone with Kayla, and Kayla is pretty much the unicorn. She's very attractive. She cooks incredible food. She loves guys with guitars.
Yeah, well, I mean, that makes her no different than any other woman.
And
But yeah. Yeah.
she's down to do stuff on the first night.
Okay, so she's
I mean, she's the perfect woman.
She sounds like every other woman out there,
What
but I
kind of-
like that.
Well, I'm thinking, what kind of idiot would turn that down? Apparently, a guy named Lucas would, because
Yeah, that's good, Jeffrey. You're in her corner.
I am. I'm trying to figure out why, because after Kayla cooked him some homemade Moroccan chicken and slipped into some negligee and invited him to stay the night, Lucas apparently looked at her and said, no thanks. I'm good. And Kayla, I feel for you here, but look, we have a whole text board filled with dudes and even some women who would love to take you out if this doesn't work.
Aw. Well, that would be nice, but I am really curious what he has to say.
And I mean, I didn't really get a sense. Are you really excited about Lucas, or are you just kind of pissed that he turned you down?
No, I had a great time with him. And I honestly, if I didn't, I probably would have just left the restaurant right then and there. You know what I mean?
All right.
Okay. Well, let's call this moron and okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's call this nice person and see what he has to say for himself. All right. You ready to do this, Kayla?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Lucas, please?
this is Lucas.
Hey, Lucas. My name's Jeffrey from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. You have a second to talk?
What is this about?
This is about a segment we do called The Second Date. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi,
So-
Lucas.
That's Brooke.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I mean, that was the
Okay.
only thing I had to say.
All right. I thought she had more.
No, you can
She
move
just
on. I
wanted
thought you were going to
interrupt
explain
me.
what a second
Okay.
date was.
So the way a second date works, you obviously know, but if you go out with someone and afterwards, if they're not calling you back, you can email our show and we'll try and figure out the reason why. So do you know who I might be calling about?
I think so. I have an idea,
Okay.
but I don't know. Why don't you fill me in?
All right. Well, the woman that emailed us, her name's Kayla.
Oh, okay.
Moroccan
Right.
chicken Kayla?
Yes.
It's a horrible nickname.
It is. It's
All
not
right.
very sexy, is it?
Is that the woman that you were thinking?
I wasn't sure actually.
Okay.
Well, he's
So-
a man that plays guitar. You know, he
Yeah.
has a lot of options on dating apps. It's fine.
Absolutely. So here's the deal. Kayla told us about your date and going out to the restaurant, and then she made some chicken for you at her place. And she said that the night kind of ended on a strange note.
I guess you could say that.
Well, she's not sure what went wrong and why you wouldn't want to end up staying the night with her.
Which is totally fine if you felt like that was too fast on a first date. Like, no judgment here. I think that.
Well, I mean,
Well,
a
okay,
little,
Alexis is going to judge you, but.
there's definitely a little bit of
yeah, a little
judgment, but maybe there's a good explanation.
No, I mean.
I mean, it was a weird night. We went out to eat, and Kayla didn't really like the food. And
Is that the problem? Is it because you felt like less than a man because she didn't like the restaurant?
What?
Less than a man?
That was a big jump,
No.
Jeffrey.
I'm just trying to
not,
read
not
it.
at all. I was cool with leaving. You know, the food was kind of whack, and she ended up taking me to her place and making this like amazing meal. You know.
Moroccan chicken.
Yeah, she
See, the
told
nickname. It's not sticking.
She said she was a good cook and you loved the food.
Right. Yeah, she's an amazing cook. She was great. That's not a problem. It's just I don't know. It's kind of weird, but
Well, she's really confused, Lucas, because like you said, she felt like everything was going really, really well up until the very end of the night, and she can't figure out the reason why you would turn her down.
Here's the thing. I'm hanging out at her place, and on the wall, she's got all these pictures with, like, John Mayer.
Wait, she's got like fangirl photos on the wall?
Like a poster?
These aren't, like, photos where, like, she's at a show and she got, like, a selfie with him or something. You know, like, she's, like, in a room with John Mayer hanging out. You know, and I know John Mayer's reputation, you know, like, he doesn't exactly, like, pick up dogs.
What?
Okay, let's.
He's more of
Okay.
a cat guy.
I don't know that we'd use that verbiage, but yeah.
He's good with the ladies, is what you're saying.
He's good with the ladies, and I'm just saying, if you're in a room with John Mayer, like, it's probably gone down.
So who cares? What, you've never had, I mean, even if that is true, like, why would that matter?
I mean, if her bar is John Mayer High, I mean, that's terrifying.
So you're saying if she would have been hanging out with like Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, you would have been fine with that, but you feel insecure because it's John Mayer.
Hey, you know what? Chad Kroger's great.
I could deal with Chad.
You could deal with Chad. Okay. But that's on you, man. She obviously was interested in you. She cooked for you. She changed into lingerie for you. Like, can't you see that those are your own securities? Insecurities. Those are the ones.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it doesn't change the way that I felt, and my entire body was just kind of like
not a Wonderland
panic mode. Not in Wonderland, right?
I could see this. To be honest, if I knew a girl had hooked up with like Tom Brady, I'd be like, I can barely throw a football, let alone I'm not rich like him, let alone...
I would have been like, and
score.
she's picking me now. That's right.
Okay.
Or you don't want to get what John Mayer's had.
Well, we're speculating a lot here. We don't even know if anything actually went down with John Mayer.
That's true.
So you know what, Lucas? Why don't we just pull her up and ask her, because I need to tell you she's on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
What? What are you talking about?
That's how the second date works. She's been on the other line.
I thought you heard these before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. She's there, man. Kayla?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Am I on?
Yep.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey. Okay. This. Hi, Lucas. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
This is the last thing I would have ever thought. I'm sorry that you got so weirded out by that picture. I mean, it's kind of old. It's been there for a little bit. I didn't even think about it, honestly.
Wait, Kayla, is that a picture of your ex, John Mayer?
I mean, no.
No, you guys weren't official, but did things happen?
I'm supposed to believe you were in a room with John Mayer and, like, you guys didn't do dirty.
I mean, that's nobody's concern right now.
Oh, that's a yes!
Honestly, you shouldn't even be worrying about it. I'm on a date with you, and it doesn't even matter at that point, you know?
Listen, did he, like, play guitar for you, too? Did he do, like, a one-on-one thing for you?
I don't even know if I want to answer that.
I don't even think that
you seem like really in your feelings about this. Like I don't want to depress you even more.
I mean, that's the thing, Kayla. Like, Lucas, these aren't questions you actually want the answer to if you're already feeling this way.
Right. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Like, did he have really soft hands?
Yes. The answer is yes to everything. Was he good? Yes.
Well, is he
Was he big? Yes.
Is he working with a 6-string guitar or a 12-string?
Maybe he's got an ukulele and he's just really good with it, you know? Sometimes it's about the music that the instrument makes, not necessarily the instrument itself.
Okay.
Am I right, Kayla?
Yes, but I also don't think that assumptions need to be made here. But yes.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so not a ukulele, huh?
Lucas, are you hearing her? She is saying you're enough. You're awesome. She likes you. Like,
you know what? Actually, I don't really know if I think that anymore.
Oh, no.
It seems like he's already moved on and really insecure about himself in a way. And I don't know. I didn't give him any of that impression. And honestly, a real man would have just said something to me right then and there instead of ghosting me like he did when he doesn't even know the situation and is just making an assumption.
Yeah, a real man.
Flat out rude.
A real man like John Mayer would have said that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
He would have.
He would have known the gravity of this situation.
Oh, I love that song.
It's really good.
I see. It is a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Lucas needs to take some time to maybe, instead of putting time into dates, maybe have some more guitar lessons because he really seems very insecure about his guitar playing, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, she's right.
But also, dude, you didn't ask me. You just made an assumption.
Right.
You were in a room with John Mayer. It didn't look like anybody was around. Like, I know you slept with him. Just admit it.
Get over it, Lucas.
She pretty much already did.
You know what? I'm not saying anything about what Johnny and I did or didn't do.
Johnny. Getting so intimate here.
Johnny.
I think that I think I've had enough.
Okay, well, hold on. We need to ask Lucas, would you like to go out on one more date with Kayla?
Wait,
will pay-
please. No, please don't ask him, please. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I got my answer.
Wow.
I got the answer, and for what it's worth, I'm not taking that picture down. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, not everybody has Johnny's confidence.
or Johnny's guitar.
Hey!
Hey. We get a lot of requests for second dates, and when we're trying to decide who to pick that we should call, we usually look for something that stands out in the emails.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And we recently got a message from one woman who says she had 2 dinners in one date.
Oh my God, this is my type of woman already.
So, I mean, either she got ditched in the middle of it, or maybe she's a competitive eater.
Or she's just a hungry girl, Jeffrey, and that is okay.
Yeah, well, let's find out which one it is. Her name's Kayla.
Kayla!
What up, Kayla?
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh, I can't wait to hear if first dinner or second dinner was better.
Well, let's just say, I think you got it right. I mean, I'm a hungry girl for lots of different things. So.
Which is different than a thirsty girl.
It is.
Yes.
Hungry and thirsty, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Great point.
Okay, so tell us about the guy that you want to call today. What's his name?
Okay, yeah, so his name is Lucas. And we met on an app, and I'll just be totally honest, I thought he was really hot.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the basis of all apps, right? I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, we chatted on the app for a little bit before agreeing to meet up, and he seemed really cool. He told me how much he was just really into like playing guitar, and he likes to go rock climbing and things like that. And I'm not necessarily into those things, but I would definitely like to climb him. I was like, any way I can get him on a date, it would be great.
Is that what you guys did when you went out?
Well, no. So we actually went to dinner.
Okay.
And it was just a terrible experience. He picked the restaurant, and honestly, the food was awful. The drinks were bad. The service was horrible. So I've actually been cooking a lot recently, and I will say I make some pretty amazing food. And in my head, I was just like, you know what? This is such a terrible experience. I think we should just leave. And I wanted to take him back to my place and cook him like a really nice dinner.
But wait,
so sweet.
it is unless he loved that restaurant. He's the one that picked it. Did he agree with you?
I think he was a little shocked and taken aback that I kind of was like, you know what, let's kind of just leave. But he didn't seem too like, whoa, this is weird. And honestly, I totally made it worth it because he loved the dinner that I made him.
What was it?
I did like this Moroccan style chicken tagine type dish. So like couscous with...
Who could just like run home and whip that up real quick?
Wife material, bro.
I guess.
Wife material. Kayla, I love you.
You had Moroccan food.
Yeah.
My God.
Awesome.
Let me pull out my tagine.
What's that?
I mean, honestly, it's really not that hard. I make it all the time, and it's one of my favorite things, and he was really wowed by it. And
I'm wowed just you saying it. I don't even have to taste it.
But I don't know what happened, but I was actually turned down that night.
Turned down how?
Turned down for what?
Turned down for
I'm asking the question because it begged to be asked right there.
I mean, I was kind of expecting and sort of hoping that we would get down and dirty. And he turned me down. And it was so mortifying because I was kind of like making it very clear that that was going to be sort of the next step.
Okay, wait, walk us through that moment real quick. Like, what did you say? What did he say?
Brooke's never been turned down ever. He's like, what?
I mean, I think that's true for most women.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
How did this play out?
I mean, yeah, it got down to the end of the night, and I said, you know, I was going to get into my PJs, but it was not something a little more sexy than that.
Yeah.
And I kind of said, like, well, you want to spend the night, right? Like, do you want to spend the night? And then he just said no. And he just abruptly kind of left like that, leaving me, like, I felt so uncomfortable. And let me tell you, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I've never been turned down like that.
Well, not all dudes are thirsty. I mean,
yeah, and a lot of people in general don't feel comfortable staying over on the first night. I mean, you don't know. Maybe he just got out of a big relationship.
I'm thinking he has like a disease.
Okay, Alexis is going with he needs ointment.
That's probably the most likely. Okay.
I mean, I honestly can't figure it out. I can't figure out why. I wore my hottest dress the whole night, and then I changed into some negligee, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it could be. I don't know if he didn't like the cooking, which I can't really imagine.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking is that Moroccan chicken. I've never had it before, but it sounds like something that would be really spicy and kind of heavy. And if he's not used to that, maybe he was having a weird reaction and didn't feel safe spending the night. You know?
Yeah, but has he called you at all?
No, it's been radio silent.
It was really bad. Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 4-day reaction that he's having.
I mean,
No, that
I
is
think there's
weird.
something else going on there.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you came across, and I think that you sound like a confident woman, but maybe you came across as like too braggadocious or like, yeah.
I just wanted us to have a good time. That was really where I was coming from. I don't know if there was another girl. I don't know if he didn't like my apartment. Like, was there something in my apartment that he saw that...
You know men and their
Yeah.
interior design.
I do love, though, how, like, women who aren't used to being rejected, they just